So you can make all types of jokes where you think it's funny that other people who have worked with you in the past are in trouble, and you want to make light of it by saying how much you're going to snitch, how happy you are to snitch, how you gonna tell, yada yada yada. Then you have the nerve to get mad when people are actually now referring to you as such and are now pontificating on what other dirt you might have had on other friends of yours or people you've worked with or did business with that you're willing to divulge to save yourself. No one is making up anything on you. Literally, people are just speculating because right now we don't know. And apparently, even with all your money, you haven't consulted with a lawyer or someone can even explain to you what the definition of defamation is. Let's listen to what Gilbert Arenas has to say.
My case, against the people in my case that I don't know. I don't know how that has translated to me telling on a whole nother group of people.
What do you mean? I don't know. What? Okay, let me explain it to you. See, the way it works is the police will give you an option. Give three and go free. Right now, you've already probably helped take care of two people and they need another. Somebody might get pulled over for a DUI, but it's their second. So they know they're going to have to do jail time. But guess what? You have a girlfriend who you don't trust. You have a baby on the way. You have bills. And you're trying to think, well, what can I do to stay out of jail? You know some guy that sells blow from high school. You know somebody that sells guns that another person introduced you to. You know some stuff about some people somewhere. And to save yourself, you're willing to give you're willing to cooperate with law enforcement, guide them in the right direction. You might not have to go to court and testify and point your finger, but you can tell them where to look, give up names. You don't have to be connected to the people you're snitching on. That's the thing about somebody who's a snitch. There's no morals. There's no there's no consistency. There's no limits. You're not going to say, "Well, I'll snitch on this, but I won't snitch on that." No, you're really it's something that's in you across the board. Some people have it's self-preservation. The problem is it's a man's game. When you hustle, when you're out here doing something illegal, it's a man's game. You know what you're getting yourself into. Whatever comes along with it, whatever punishment, you have to be willing to take it on the chin. Now, when you're saying, "Yeah, I know I did wrong, but I'm not willing to be responsible for my own actions. I'm willing to watch other people suffer. I'm willing to put other people's family through hell to save myself." That's selfish. Nobody, and it's crazy to me. When I first saw him bragging about being a snitch and how he's going to tell and all that stuff, I'm watching the videos. I got the same internet you guys have. We've all been seeing it. As soon as he got arrested for the poker stuff, and it's just a poker game. It wasn't nothing super serious, in my opinion, but he wanted to make light of himself. He's black in America. Everyone knows how the black community looks at a snitch. The black community holds a snitch in a worse regard than a child molester or a pedophile. There's nothing worse than that. So for him to voluntarily call himself a snitch, I was appalled. I was like, oh God, that's a bold statement. He tried to do the 6ix9ine thing. If he calls himself something first, you can't use it against him. 6ix9ine's not black. It's different rules. So now he's learning that people don't trust him. People don't want to do business with him. Nobody in the black community wants to be associated with a snitch, not even a woman. Women will leave you for snitching and staying out of jail, and they would stay with you if you held it down and did your time and didn't tell, they'll respect you more. Now, what if you don't care about nobody but yourself? You're planning on moving away, starting over. You still have to live with what you did. What did Jay-Z said? The label of a snitch is a lifetime scar. You'll always be in jail, just minus the bars. The prison he put himself in by being an admitted snitch, now he's starting to feel the pressure like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you, and he's starting to see there's a lot of consequences with it, and you can't take it back. The internet's forever. The fact that you're openly bragging about telling on some people that you wrote, there's not much to tell, but the fact that he made such light of it, no one knows what he won't do. Now, you're a professional basketball player, you're a gambling man, and it just came out that other ex basketball players who are also gamblers are involved in fixing games. It's not out of the realm of possibility. You being a gambler, you were aware of this. And honestly, knowing your character, who's to say you didn't take some money in college? Nobody can say we see when it comes to defamation, right? That's if somebody knows what they're saying about you is false and they still say it. We don't know. We are pontificating, we are speculating. It's anybody's guess because a lot of this stuff is too new. The paperwork's out yet. So I'm the kind of person that says if there's no paperwork, you can't call somebody anything. You got to have it in black and white. But before the paperwork comes out, if somebody admits that they a snitch, then damn it, there's nothing to wait on. That's your label. Anybody who you're connected to should be wary about what you know about them and if you would ever sell that information to benefit yourself. Right now, we don't know, but it's a possibility. You know Chauncey Billups, you know these other players, and you're a gambler. And you're a man of low character. You brought guns into the locker room. You got all kind of other little scandals here and there, but people like you, so they watch your sports show. You talk about these things and you're funny. It's a funny guy. So people are going to watch. He's entertaining to watch. But would anybody in their right mind trust him after he openly admitted to being a snitch? Bro, everybody has a little something going on somewhere. You got to worry about him telling your wife you cheating if he knows about it. It's a snitch. You don't know what they will or won't do. Their character's low. You can't say, yeah, they're a snitch, but they're solid. Is there a such thing as a solid snitch? I've never. I don't think it's an oxymoron. Everything about you is wishy-washy, and you have the nerve to say I don't see how they could connect me with this. Yes, yeah, you do. Y'all all former NBA players, and you guys are all gamblers. Why is any of this even rocket science, Gil? Come on, it's not rocket science, bro. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So yeah, you can sue. Who you gonna sue? The internet? Everybody knows this about you. You've been telling us you a snitch for a while now. Look at this.
What's up, big dog? Info.
He comes in.
Info. No.
And he comes in, right? And he brings in a bag that says informant's lunch. He's making light of it like he's being funny. I don't think the men that are going to be going to jail behind this thinks it's a joke. Their names are smeared. Their reputations are gone. And you think it's okay to just make jokes about it and but you're also embarrassing yourself. You can't be mad or upset where you're now talking about threatening to sue people. It's just look at how ridiculous the rest of this is. Look.
I don't even know how the two are even thought about connected. The fact that some of y'all defamed me, I don't know if I'm going to be the bigger person and just let it go or I'm going to sue. And I know you guys know I am 55-0. I won 6-7 defamation lawsuits. So I know that. And some of y'all language defamed me with false information. 2 cases.
It's not defamation. Again, if somebody knows that what they're saying about you is not true and they're still saying it on a public platform to embarrass you or so that you can lose money and you can prove damages because this person literally purposely did this to you to harm you, knowing that it was fake, that's defamation. Right now, you telling the world you're a snitch, and we are sitting here saying he could have snitched on these people too. That's not defamation, my guy. Now, you can go waste your money with a lawyer and take as many people as you want to court. You're going to lose all your money. What's that girl named? Kendra G. She just tried to sue some other podcaster, some YouTuber for defamation, yada yada. It's not you guys are bad with definitions. That's not defamation. Now, in the past, you probably had a case. Right now, you don't.
Cases that have no connection. I don't know or played with not one of those guys in that case. I don't care who they have. And you take my trolling in my case against the people in my case that I don't know.
Nobody is going to sit here and play separation. If you're snitching in this case, you can be involved in 20 other cases. That's what a snitch is. It's called cooperation. That means you're working with the police, not for a limited time, until they tell you it's over. Not until you decide you're done cooperating. It's until they tell you you're done. And what they do is they'll whisper in your lawyer's ear, this isn't over. He needs to commit. And your lawyer has to convince you that you're gonna have to keep going. Because if you stop now, then whatever you were snitching to gain from this, it's off the table. It's over. You're gonna have to give us everything. I don't understand. What are you talking about, Gilbert? What is this? You are involved in a case where you're ratting on people and it was something to do with gambling. You're a former NBA player yourself. These are also former NBA players wrapped up in something that has to do with gambling. This isn't a case of doing fraud on a construction site and then you're over here charged with playing rigging poker games, but yet these guys are also charged. But you guys are all on the same. It's not like these are different types of cases. You are in trouble because of some poker games in LA. Magically, Chauncey Billups is in trouble for, out of all the games, poker games that were fixed. Basketball players also are in trouble for throwing games, shape, and it's getting around to the whole league is involved. I don't think that you just never heard of this, or you likely have a connection somewhere. Why do you think Shaq is so careful with his words? Because there's people out there that can say, you know what, Shaq, shut the fuck up before I show some receipts. Everybody got a little, I keep telling people, gambling is the worst addiction a man can have. I have a really, really good friend of mine who's in prison right now. 2 years ago, he was out. He owned two businesses. He was over, he was worth, he had over $2 million in the bank. He started gambling. Now he's in jail, burnt through all the money, was doing all this other stuff to try to make more money. Gambling is the only addiction that money can't help. So people keep saying, well, all these guys have all this money. That makes it even worse. Money is not the cure to a gambling addiction. Money doesn't help it. Money makes it worse. It amplifies it. It's when it comes to gambling, there's a adrenaline rush. It's an addiction. It's a feeling. It's a dopamine hit. And then if you're involved in the gamble, now it's a whole nother type of feeling that you might not understand. These guys aren't necessarily doing this because they want the money only. They're also doing it for the excitement. It's a rush. They're addicted to the game. It's a hustle. You're getting over on people. Whether they're your friends or your fans, you're still getting over on them. So you can't look at this like, oh man, this is just about money. It's not just about money. Gambling is something that money can't solve. Money can't solve a gambling problem.
I don't know how that has translated to me telling on a whole nother group of people.
Bro, I just told you, poker, poker. NBA player, NBA player. Niggas, niggas. What else do you need?
I don't even know how the two are even thought about connected. The fact that some of y'all defamed me, I don't know if I'm going to be the bigger person and just let it go.
Gilbert, you defamed yourself. You look like an idiot right now posting this on the internet. But what this tells me is when somebody's going out of their way to convince you, this reminds me of Netanyahu going on television and saying, we didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Bro, why do you feel the need to tell us that? If you didn't do it, then what do you care? Why would you need to tell us what to, let me decide what I want to think. You don't need to tell me. So Gilbert Arenas coming on here saying, I just snitch on them. I just snitch on these other people. Now you're making yourself look guilty. If people are going to talk, let them talk. If what they're saying is bull, then who cares? In my experience in life, the only time somebody's mad about something other people are saying, it's not when it's a lie. It's when it's true. I remember there was, you have a friend, such and such is gay. Man, you call everybody, we call everybody gay. It was just a joke, right? You call one dude gay, now he want to fight. Why? But you're gonna get beat up and you still gay, but why do you care so much? And then you find out a couple years later, boy, I had a little sugar in his tank. Little sugar. Little sugar Shane Mosley in there. That's why I'm like, it's somebody can say, oh, Rico this. If it's not true, I'm like, you know what? They said that about me to you. They didn't say it in front of me. They didn't say it to me. They're running game on you. If anybody should be offended, it should be you, not me. But if somebody says something about me is true and I don't need that getting out, now it's a problem. Gilbert Arenas, nobody's lying on him. He's mad because what they're saying, there is some possibility of truth. And no matter what happens from now on, anytime anybody in any sport gets in trouble, in the back of everybody's mind, they're going to forever be thinking, I wonder if Gilbert's who put them onto this. We don't know. The way it works with snitching, the way it works with cooperating, you don't have to show up to court all the time and point at somebody. You don't got to sign nothing. You work with a detective. They pay you a visit every couple of months. I know this because I had a friend and one of my cousins was in trouble. The police came to him about me and a bunch of people in my family. And this is somebody who was really close to us. They brought him pictures of me, my other cousins, with my cousin that was in trouble. I understand that you talked to the police. What I didn't like is that he didn't come to me once he left the station and say, hey, Reek, they're asking about you. They're asking about him. They're asking all these questions. Why not at least give us a heads up that this is going on? I had to find out from paperwork. We were shocked. We would never have thought. So when you find out that there's somebody who's willing to cooperate and tell, you don't know what they're willing to say. I remember I knew this dude. He was in trouble. I remember he told on the security guard. He snitched on the security guard that used to let us get in the club for free. I said he gave up Martin, the dude at the door, the dude that used to let us slide in without paying because we're regulars. He told on him, got that man fired. And that's like, you don't know when somebody's willing to snitch, they'll snitch on anything. They'll snitch on anybody, anywhere. Gilbert has been making it a point to be sure that everybody knows he gonna tell. He gonna give it up. He not holding water. He made it a point for everybody to know. Okay, now we know. You can't get mad now because we're making connections. It's like that movie with Kaiser Sose. They're looking at that board. You see all these connections. And then he's walking down the street with a limp. Next thing you know, he's walking normal, gets in the car. That's Gilbert Arenas. That's him. He'll make all these connections for you to keep himself out of jail, bro. Jail ain't for everybody. Jail really ain't for the rich. Because once you get in there, you're not protected. You're not a part of a gang. You're a dude with some money, and people can beat you up and every day make your life hell and have you calling home and giving out CashApp numbers and Zelle information. And you got to pay everybody in jail every day just to let you stay alive because they know you got money. Even if you're in protective custody, you're still eventually going to run into some regular people. So they're not ready for jail. They're not. And Gilbert, I mean, he must have thought the case in the case with the poker that he was involved in, he must have thought it was serious enough because he keeps talking about it, and the police thought it was serious enough. They arrested him for it. Years later, not like they caught him in the act. They didn't catch him at a poker game with a royal flush in his hand. He's like, that's not how it happened. They literally arrested him years later, and it seemed like he was only loosely connected to it, as far as we know, but we don't know. But when it comes to these gambling circles and you're dealing with the mob, you're dealing with black people, you're dealing with non-blacks, and bro, there's a lot of connections that can be made. None of it is defamatory, and I think he's nervous. You know, somebody thinking you're a snitch in the real world, people hate snitches, hate them. And this man is openly smiling, bragging about snitching. He literally just walked onto a show right here.
Just got back. You got a Big Mac in there? See, I'm the sixth man. Hiding in the shadows. How y'all doing, man? What's the? Oh, this is my lunch, man. I ain't get to eat it over there, man. I was talking too much.
I didn't get to eat over there. I was talking too much. Making a joke about sitting in a room with law enforcement and talking so much, telling other people's business, giving up information about what other people have done that's illegal. So much. This is his joke. This is a joke he's apparently, but with black people, it's not going to land. That's like making a joke about hurting kids and touching on them. It's not going to land around people. But remember, in the black community, a snitch is way worse than a pedo. So he's making these type of jokes, and he's getting a mixed reaction from the people in the room. It's not landing because they're thinking, I don't want to be associated with a snitch. Because if somebody come to do something to him and I'm on the elevator with him, or I happen to be in the car with him, I'm going down too. Bullets don't have eyes on them, and they don't have names on them. Do you know what happens when people think that you're a snitch? And if you do end up going to jail, and they think about it, Gilbert Arenas, he makes it through all of this, no problems. Say he gets a DUI or he makes an illegal U-turn while drunk, hits somebody. And eventually they give him, he gets a cell, he pleads out, he does 6 months in jail. But say this is years from now. People in jail are going to be like, I remember him. He bragged about being a snitch years ago. You think they're going to say, oh, it's been years. Snitching doesn't matter no more. No. This man he has no wherewithal, no self-awareness to the fact that he literally just painted himself bright orange with green polka dots. And this is permanent paint that will never wash off of his skin. In some cases, even your children will have to literally be paid. They'll have to pay the price for you being a snitch. If you're a snitch and people find out your dad's a snitch, they're going to call you. Yeah, your dad, they'll bring it up to you. That's how bad that snitch label is. And this man purposely just painted himself, painted his son, painted his kids. This guy's a complete idiot. I don't care how good you are at entertaining people on the internet. You don't self-immolate. He set himself on fire and he doesn't even realize it. And he keeps pouring more and more gasoline on himself when he's already in an inferno. Look at Swaggy P looking at him like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Information on the new case. What's that?
Look at the guy. Look at the guy in the middle. He's covering his eyes. Look at the two other guys on the other side of the screen. They're look at their faces. They're like, this is bad. This is bad for business because snitches don't last forever. You cannot be a snitch and just be a normal person in society, not in black society. That's why these other guys are sitting there like, should we get up and leave? How bad is this? Even though it's not about nobody, it's not a murder or nothing, but he's literally making jokes, calling himself a snitch. What does that mean when you're associated with when you're friends with a snitch? What does that mean? You think that gives you you think that doesn't put you as being a part of it too? You think people are gonna say, well, his friend snitched, but not him? No. Why do you think nobody's laughing? Why do you think that dude got his face covered?
Got my little Dana. You good over there? First 48. That's news. They give you coffee in it.
Bro, they're giggling. This is no laughing matter, and everybody on that goddamn panel knows this is bad for business. This is bad. He's sitting there doing a whole comedy sketch routine about being a snitch. He's burning his own reputation to the ground. To the ground. And these guys are going to go down with them. Because people are going to, if somebody doesn't like you, first thing they're going to do is bring up the fact that you used to be with Snitch Arena. Snitch Arenas. They're going to bring it up.
You coffee in there?
He did all that for a Danish.
Bro, they're all confused. They're all sitting there. Look at them.
With 2 pieces of shit.
Look at him. Look at his face right here. Look, right here. Look at this dude.
With 2 pieces of shit.
Not laughing, not having a good time. They know the consequences of him being a snitch. And they know the consequences of them sitting around them. You don't know what else they told on. And because he's a snitch, you can't trust him when he says, I didn't tell nothing else. You can't trust a snitch. You can't. Would you trust a thief with money? You can't trust a thief either. A thief, a snitch, that's pretty much the same type of person. If you'll snitch on your friends, you'll steal from your friends. It's the same thing. The same logic applies. And these brothers know it, and I feel bad as hell for them because they're tied in with contracts. This is their form of income. And every day that this man wakes up and sets himself on fire, this might be the last day that they're going to be making money with Gilbert Arenas doing these shows. It's all dependent on him, and this man's trying to burn himself alive. Unfucking believable. And look at these poor guys. They're just like, we're wrapped in the middle of this. We're literally building our entire income is tied to a wild card, and you don't know what he's going to do next.
My bad. The show must go on. Listen, the Blazers was to go win anyway. The last thing they needed was their coach.
That Bob.
He don't want to be there no more. The dude's sitting right. I forgot his basketball name. He doesn't want to be there.
You were saying fire him 2 years ago.
Look, what's his name? Let me go show. Right there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He doesn't want to be here no
we
more.
have our freedom.
Look at
Here
this.
in Gilbert Arenas, said about underdog.
He wants to change the subject, but the idiot of them brought a lunch bag that says inform. Swaggy got a little money. He's not in the league no more, but he still got some money. These other dudes, man, they need the job, bro. And you sitting up here playing with them, joking around because you got other money, but you're actually doing business with them and you're willing, you don't really give a shit how this is going to adversely affect them. That's selfish. And then you have the nerve to come over here and talk about, because he's now starting to find out that he's fucked. There's no forgiving somebody for being a public snitch. There's none of that. There's none of it.
Or I'm going to sue. And I know you guys know I am.
Bro, suing ain't gonna help, man. That's it. Look, like and subscribe, share the video. Right Wing Rico, the single boyfriend. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I'm hitting this on the head and I'm right, leave a comment. Follow me on X. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok too. I'm gonna put this video on TikTok. Let me know what you think. I want to hear your thoughts. This is just amazing to me to watch somebody burn their own reputation and career. They're just burning their whole, just burning it. Not having any wherewithal about what is acceptable to your people and your audience. And just literally just setting yourself on fire. It's insane. And also those around you are also going to pay a price too. Losing, because once you go down, no one, you're the main attraction. Then where who's gonna want to just hire them alone? It's not gonna happen. So just selfishness at its best. Like and subscribe, share the video. I'll be back in about 20 minutes with another live, and I'll see you guys again shortly.